Okay, day 20 of Culinary School. I have to say I am gassed and I'm just running on fumes at this point. I was super nervous about today because it was going to be my second time around becoming or being a sous chef. And being a sous chef, I mean, I've done it the first time around. The second time around, it's not easier, right? You have the added responsibility of not only making sure your stuff comes out on time, hot and perfect, but making sure that the line is on time and it's clean, and you're trying to delegate and you're cleaning as you go, and again, delegating tasks. So it's the added responsibility of just making sure everything is in the right place. You're also tasked with extra items. So today I had an extra item to make a cure with the other sous chef in the kitchen. That and making sure the dish pit is nice and clean throughout. It's a lot. It's one that I sort of love and hate. I hate the fact that I don't like barking orders, but sometimes when you're delegating, you sort of just have to, and there's a general understanding. Everybody's been a sous chef, so there's a general understanding when it's all out of like just a matter of trying to get things done. And I love that pressure situation, but I hate it. Like I know it's a point where if I use it well enough, I can grow from it. But it's a lot. I just mentioned it's just there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. There's a lot going on, and I love it and I hate it at the same time. But with that being said, I feel like today I did everything I could in my power to organize and do the best job I could possible. Did I do the best job for my team? I think they have to answer that, but I for sure try to give it everything I had. And I also tried to do the hard things myself. Like I tried very hard to like make sure that I did the harder tasks, because I'm a firm believer that leaders need to lead from by example and from the front, and sometimes from the back. So not afraid to inserting myself in the dish pit, or obviously making the cure today, or being last in fabrication, whatever it may be, so that everybody is much better off. So again, it's a blessing and a curse. I'm just exhausted, pure exhaustion. Also not getting a lot of sleep last night, but yeah, today was overall a big learning day, a big growing day. Going over some of the things we went through. We went through braising, knife cuts, reheating, and emulsion. We did a quick recipe review. Went straight into mise en place, where the sous chefs did the chicken cure. We did another chicken fabrication today, and that chicken, half of that chicken or chicken legs I should say, was used for I'm forgetting now, coq au vin, which is basically like braised chicken in red wine. It's delicious. That's a very classical French dish. And then we did pommes puree, duck confit salad, and yeah, duck salad, and then wrapped it up. Off the bat, I will tell you guys that none of the folks in the class, even I would consider our best cook in the class, got to finish the coq au vin. We just simply ran out of time. It's a braised dish that requires 45 minutes to an hour in the oven, and we ran out of time. And learning this for the first time, I mean, I've seen a lot of YouTube videos on it. It's a braise. It just needs time, right? The main ingredient is time with a braise. So yeah, we ran out of time, but we did get through our duck salad, and I'll also talk about duck confit. So this is how my salad turned out. So he got everybody's salad in one table, and we all talked about different salads. And the big feedback he gave to everyone in the class, no exceptions, was every salad was just too big. The portions were too big. If you're serving this at a restaurant, the portion is too big. You're supposed to have an inch from the very tip of the plate. It's an appetizer, right? It's not an entree. And I plated mine like it was an entree. Also, big no in a salad especially is leaving the bone on. I plated it like it was an entree, and I didn't know that. That's something that you just learn, right? And he wasn't there to like beat us up over it. It was a learning experience. It was just too big of a portion, not just for me, but for everyone. But talking specifically about my dish, I wanted to highlight the different greens that we had. We had a frise salad that I want that we were able to highlight. This thing is called a celeriac. It looks kind of like a coconut, and you kind of shave it off and you mandolin it down, and it has this thin shaving. And the plating I did here, I was keeping in mind the rule of evens, so making sure that the rule of odds, and making sure that you had odd garnishes on the plate. So I had 5 tomatoes and 3 celeriac, and then of course just highlighting the crispy duck confit as a center point of the dish. Again, a big thing was the portion size of the salad. Just something that I need to learn is if you're dishing out a salad, it shouldn't be the size of an entree. It should be an appetizer type portion. So talking about that, because we did not go into our braise, I can't really talk about that. Well, I did take it home. Let me just show you. I did take home my braised liquid, my braised chicken. This is technically done braising. I just need to finish it off on the stove and thicken the sauce. So I will do that today. But real quick, I want to talk to you guys about duck confit, because it's another traditional staple French dish that we did as a group. Chef actually finished it on the stove, and I'll show you. But we cured it. I believe this has like herbs and shallots and salt. Herbs, shallots, and salt kind of pureed together to create this like cure, if you will. And we sort of cured it over the weekend, so it's really covered with salt. And then once on Monday we had to wash it down. So this is what it looks like over the weekend. It's all cured and then sort of wrapped together so that all that cure will kind of melt down, and then that's sort of cured over the weekend, so it has that time to marinate and get that flavor. It was a really, really rich duck, and so this is what it looks like as it's confiting. I talked about talked about confit yesterday. A confit is basically just something that's cooking in its own fat at a low temperature. So this is in duck fat, basically the comparison to gold. You can see some of the herbs and spices, and it's just slow cooking over time. You're really aiming not to reach above 200 degrees. And the difference between a confit and a deep fry is obviously temperature, right? So at deep fry, you're north of 300 degrees. At a confit, you're almost south of 200 degrees. So it's low and slow in its own fat. So you can confit not just savory but sweet. So you can confit like something like strawberry syrup or something. I don't know, but that's got to be low and slow. And with sugar, you have to know the temperature that it caramelizes in. So it has to be at that solid range. So you can confit. I've seen people do like confit tomatoes or things like that. So it's a very delicate technique one that's very delicious. Duck confit, I think I've mentioned this before, is one of my absolute favorite dishes. It blew my mind the first time I had it, and I was able to actually take not one but two of these home. One from the salad that you saw, but then also we had an extra one, and some of the people in the class also got to take one or two. So yeah, that's sort of the confit process. You brown it in the oven or on the stovetop. We just did ours as a group on the broiler. So yeah, that was day 20 of culinary school. A big stressful day. I'm sort of glad it's over, but I'm also sad that it's over. But can't wait for tomorrow. I will try to rest up and see you guys tomorrow. Thanks. Peace.